We are behind.
Destination marked. Enemy down.
Report ahead.
Destination marked. Proximity mine deployed. Proximity mine. Destination marked. Kill. Planting proximity mine.
Hostile care package inbound.
They're gone.
Cruise missile inbound.
Planting proximity mine.
Fuck.
Inbound. HVA. We've taken the lead.
Proximity mine deployed.
We're losing CCS. We're taking control. Mission expiring.
Destination marked.
HVA takes the day. Well done.
Happy animals. It's how we live. Proximity mine.
Look, reshot again. Golly. This shit is ridiculous.
Team deathmatch. Время идет. Get to work. Taking control.
Of shots fired at a parking garage located at 6 West Grand close to 10 a.m. The police reported the incident, noted that they found 3 victims of gunshot wounds, which included rapper Little Reese. A crashed Dodge Durango that was stolen was found at the shooting scene and was riddled with bullet holes. Wow. Along with Little Reese being shot, a 20-year-old man and a 27-year-old man were shot. As now, all 3 men are in the hospital, but their conditions are unknown. Stay tuned for more updates. So that's pretty much that's all they got right now. Little Reese and 2 other men hit up in the parking garage. Ain't no telling what down it could have been. I don't know if it's attached to a mall. I don't know if it's attached to a hotel. I don't know if it's just a parking garage just for them to go shopping. I don't know. I don't really know too much. They didn't give too many details, as you can see. Hopefully them brothers will pull through. And
What happened?
pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I say this all the time, man. I had to learn a lesson the hard way with me going back to the hood and showing love to the hood. And that's going to be my next video. So if you're watching this video right now, that video is going to get real deep. And I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff in that video. But like I said, I told y'all, it's going to be a cold summer and a hot winter. Already in Philly, it's like over 180 deaths from shootings out there. Like, the urban area, the hood in Black America is on life support. And it's because us and what we're doing to us. And the only ones that can change that is...
I figured it was you got it.
Hey, Good evening. More death, destruction, and a powerful show of force in the Middle East, where the conflict in Israel and the Palestinian territories escalated today. A building in Gaza containing the offices of foreign media, including the Associated Press and Al Jazeera, was destroyed by an Israeli airstrike. Hamas responded with rocket attacks on Israel. At least 10 Israelis and 145 Palestinians, including children on both sides, have been killed since the fighting began this week. CBS's Imtiaz Taya is there.
As air raid sirens blared across Israel's largest city, our team ran to a bomb shelter in a nearby apartment block.
We're just sirens went off over Tel Aviv. It's been a few days since we've heard it. Quite so close to the city.
Inside, you could hear several explosions. Less than half a mile away, the epicenter of the strike, a Hamas rocket landed in this busy intersection, killing one person.
Never has a Hamas rocket struck the heart of Tel Aviv quite like this, and never have we seen damage like this either.
As emergency crews investigate the aftermath, local residents looked on, including Dana Offer and her son Ellie.
This is your neighborhood.
Yes.
Look at these scenes.
Just wait to the storm, you know, and Ayalik was very close.
Hamas says the rocket attack was in retaliation for Israel's bombing last night of Gaza's refugee camp. At least 10 members of a Palestinian family, 2 women and 8 children were killed in the strike, the deadliest since violence began. 6-month-old Omar Hadidi, the only survivor, was found in the rubble next to his dead mother. Just 20 minutes after Hamas's rockets fell on Tel Aviv, Israeli fighter jets leveled a 15-story building in Gaza City. The tower housed the BBC, Associated Press, and Al Jazeera. No journalists were receiving an hour's warning to leave. The building's destruction is being described as an assault on press freedom. But Israel says it was home to Hamas intelligence, something the tower block's owner denies. After 6 days of fighting and over 140 Palestinians and 10 Israelis dead, it's hard to imagine there's a potentially more serious crisis unfolding in the background of all this unrest. But across Israel, in mixed Arab and Jewish cities, there's been several nights of horrific neighbor versus neighbor violence, a crisis threatening to push Israel.
An envoy for the State Department has arrived here in Tel Aviv for de-escalation talks, but the Israeli government has made it clear it's not interested in any kind of ceasefire with Hamas. Adriana.
NCS 9 in Tel Aviv, thank you.
He hold all this SD, he did. He gets online, he responds to the little Reese situation. I gotta watch from the beginning to the end, he did. He definitely speaks his mind. Says he's truly mafia. He got nothing to do with that, he did. Says it was once a team, the team was a powerful team. He's basically, I gotta watch from the beginning to the end. SD definitely gets personal.
But man, my wife out here in Atlanta, enjoying ourselves, enjoying our night, enjoying the days. I've been getting a lot of work done. I've done a lot of video shoots. I've done a lot of photo shoots. I got a lot of unreleased music. And I'm an independent artist. I don't have a manager. I'm signed to my own company. I don't have a major company behind me. And we got a lot of great things in store for y'all, man. My wife is my business partner, man, and I thank God for her. You feel me? I'm out for 30. Bitch, if I was out for 30, I'd be in the studio. You fucking drug addict. Man, stop asking me about a lot of shit that don't matter to me, man. Only thing I'm worried about is my wife, my kids, and my mama and my little brother and little sister. I can give a fuck about anybody else unless we doing business together. I'm truly mafia. I am truly mafia. No love lost, no disrespect to no one else. I love everybody I came up with. You did? And I wish the best for them. I don't mean no harm to none of them. I don't share no disrespect to him. But when you play with me, it's fuck you. I don't give a fuck how you fuck. You be on your deathbed. If it's fuck me, fuck you, and I hope they kill you. But I don't mean no disrespect to nobody that I fuck with or grew up with. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody I came up with. I look at it like we brothers. We gonna fight, man. And as men, we have to grow balls to realize that some things was said out of spite and out of anger. And we gotta learn how to put things to the side and focus on the bigger picture, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all know me, y'all know I'm good, man. I got a beautiful wife. I got 5 kids. I have a beautiful house in Georgia. Like, I've been making some of the greatest music I could make in my lifetime right now. I have no issues, I have no worries.
I was told just to kill them because they know I see.
3 people were shot Saturday morning on the near north side, officials said. They were all shooting at each other about 9:50 a.m. on the West Grand Avenue, according to preliminary information from Chicago police.
The guy on the floor? There are a lot of gunshots though. I think so. Because what is it, a Range Rover?
2 men were taken with gunshot wounds in serious to critical condition to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, officials said. The third was taken to Strawberry Hospital in a fair to serious condition. A witness told Eyewitness News that the shooting happened on the 3rd floor of a parking garage. Red Line trains were bypassing the Grand Station as police investigated, according to an alert from the CTA.
Yeah, his hand's moving.
Yeah, I was known in a couple circles.
Yeah, but I like talking to my friends.
That's it.
There's value amongst the 3 of us. Now, do I think Joe has crazy value by himself? Do I think you have crazy value by yourself? Do I think I have crazy value by myself? Yes. Whatever you think that value is from a number standpoint, whatever. But the 3 of us together with some different type of value.
And let's recognize that. Let's just recognize that.
I never walked in that pod and say, yo, I make this shit.
Yeah. But that demeanor was never presented from this side
ever.
Like I'm not, you know, see the people online, they saying, oh y'all, you know, Joe made y'all. Cool, if that's what you want to. But there's a reason he called me and asked me to join the pod, man. And no disrespect to you, Rory, but when I came on, I feel like I made this shit more palatable.
I agree.
I feel like I made this shit more cool. I feel like I gave this shit a different energy. Like, no disrespect to nobody. You my guy. You know I fuck with you. But I just made. No, I'm just saying. I feel like he knows that though. So then say that, nigga. Don't let Charlamagne come on the show and have to say it. Why you don't say it?
I remember when you had come on the 2nd episode. Joe and I were still in the talks of the girl thing, still at that point, because
right.
We want. Yo, Maul, let's just be the guys podcast. Maul killing this shit.
And but see, and but my only point.
I also don't take any. People are just weirdos and that type of. I don't take offense to that.
No.
I know what you did when you came.
I'm not taking offense to it. I'm just saying that he don't speak up about that shit. He don't be like, nah, you bugging. Like, nah, my man, they got value. They bring shit to this. Like, he let these narratives run and he play into them like, it's like, fam, like, I see all of that, but he know that I don't give a fuck about that. Like, he know that I'm just the type of dude, like, nigga, I don't care about that, man. Like, nigga, we having fun, we busting it up, we making some money. We looked up one day, we had cool. So my thing is, like, we gotta put your ego to the side, homie. Put your ego to the side. Like, it's not that serious. Like, what you doing right now, what you did to your niggas, the way he up there talking about me, the way he up there talking about, that's corny. Like, that's corny shit to me, fam. Like, you saying
things that really offend me. Him saying Rory's measly ass, and I was trying to manipulate shit. Let's be transparent and tell the truth more. I'm the only one that was talking to him and was talking to me. Bro, I was trying to save this fucking podcast like you would not fucking believe. Two people that were done with it. Joe was done with the shit, you were done with the shit, and I'm the only one sitting there trying to keep this shit going. So when Joe brings up these words like measly, yo, you lost your leverage. Leverage on what? What is this narrative talking about leverage? I didn't go into any type of thing to have leverage. Again, I'm trying to save our fucking podcast, and these are the terms that need to happen, which is terms we agreed upon 2 years ago. I'm not looking for leverage.
Right.
If I was looking for leverage, that would come in renegotiation.
Right.
I'm not as fucking stupid as you think.
Right.
Stop with these narratives to dumb people that just think you smart. I wasn't looking for leverage on anything. I was trying to save this podcast, and I talked with my mans, and I talked with you, and I put together a list of what would happen, on top of the things I needed as well. You said you was going to meet them, said, oh wait, that's all I need, and then didn't meet them. And then you was wondering why this didn't happen.
Right.
So I'm the one manipulating shit. You came to me and said I could easily make this shit happen, came back, nothing happened.
Right. And another thing, you know, see people say, oh, you riding with Rory. I'm riding with what's right.
Did anyone ever think you was doing what was best for you and I was doing what was best for me? And we wasn't even riding for each other?
Right. But see, again, that's why this is important, because like I said, I didn't even want to do this, you didn't want to do this, but we came to something that was like, it's absolutely necessary, because these narratives have to stop. We gotta put it into this, because this is not what happened, this is not the truth. And again, I give you a whole bunch of credit, because when he told you to stay home, the first thing I told you was, I said, Rory, I'm not recording without you.
I remember.
I'm not doing that. I said, because to me, that's nasty. It's basically saying, like, you know, you go to the club, the bouncer say your man can't get in, he ain't got the right shoes on, and then we continue to go in the club. That's corny. I'm never doing that. Fuck it, we all know. So when he said he told you to stay home, nah, we're not doing that. Go to the studio, Joe, let me holler at you. And we had the talk we had. And then that turns into something else. It's like, Joe, why is it always a problem when people are having a conversation about this show and you're not around? Like, you feel like niggas is trying to conspire some shit behind your back, because that's not what it is, bro. Niggas are having creative talks on how to make this shit better, how to grow this shit, productive conversations. I said, but you being real defensive when you're not around and people are talking about the show, it's saying something.
Same way 6 years ago when Elliot and I just went to lunch.
Especially when you have a whole bunch of conversations about this podcast and we not around, and then we continue to be like, okay, let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. All right, cool. And again, we might have to take some onus in that, because we probably let that go on. We probably let that go on for too long. So cool, we'll take some onus on that. But then we had that talk, and I'm just seeing him, and I'm just like, oh, he thinks that he's really this new guy. Because I'm hearing it, and the way he's talking to me, and I'm just like, I think y'all got things twisted. No, we don't got nothing twisted. I think that money started to come in, you started to see more money than you ever seen in your life. You started to have conversations with niggas you wanted to have conversations with as a rapper that would never talk to you. So I think that you starting to feel like this new person, and you got this new leash on life, which is fine. I'm not even mad at that, but don't bring that energy for my people. Keep that energy with some groupie bitches. Keep that energy with some fans. Don't bring that energy to your niggas. You can have an ego with women and fans and all that. Don't have no ego with your niggas that built something with you that was in the trenches with you like I was. A nigga that done been locked up with you like I was.
And remember the conversation the three of us had that we called this productive? He said, yes, I like my ego. My ego is important in certain places. I should channel it better, but I should never channel it the way I channeled it with my friends. This is his words, not mine.
Look at what happened now. Like, is that out the window? Because we had a 5-hour conversation at his house. We thought we made some progress. And be clear, I gotta give my guy Rory props on this too. I was done with the pod after that conversation we had. I was done.
That's why I had easy words. Like, you ain't gonna never look me in my eyes at me so fucking much. I'm like, fam, I was the one trying to keep this shit together.
I'm gonna give you that credit, because I told that's a word I would never sit on energy. I said, because I can't fake it. That energy, that chemistry, that laughing shit, the fun, it's not there no more. When you look me in my eyes and tell me after all these years, all this grind and all this building and pushing that we did, Don't tell me that this shit is none of my business. I could never unhear that, man. I could never unhear you say that to me.
And granted, maybe there's a bunch of adjectives for me trying to force this podcast to keep going. It's not measly. It's not liar. It's not manipulator.
No. And I'll have you back on that. It was never that. Did I force something?
Maybe. Did I try too hard to make sure the shit?
No.
Because I really thought we could get back to it.
No. You know what you did? You did what you were supposed to do as a friend. Like, yo, fam, let's just make this shit right. Let's just make this shit right. Like, fuck it, man. We did something dope. This is just a bump in the road. Let's patch this shit up. Let's keep it moving. But I'm gonna be honest. Like I told you, I said, fam, I'm done. I had a 3-hour FaceTime with Royce, and we talked about everything.
I text Royce afterwards after you called me, and I thanked Royce.
He talked to me about a whole bunch of slaughterhouse shit. He talked to me about a whole bunch of, and it was like, but I'm telling Royce, I'm like, fam, just in the way, again, he had to pull up with Crook. Never put it out. I got this. Never put it out. But the great boy, he said something in that pull-up that when I saw it, it stuck with me. And when the shit fell apart with us, that shit played in my head. And him and Crook were talking about, Crook said something to the extent of, but bro, we have a contract with them. We gotta honor our contract. We signed this, we agreed to this, we gotta honor that. And Joe's response was, I don't give a fuck about no contract. I don't honor no contract. And Crook just laughed like, all right, well, if that's how you feel, what were we even talking about? Like, I can't, there's no talking to you. And when he said that, I'm like, you don't honor no contracts.
Well, also, let's get into some of that conversation that we had where Joe was saying, because I want to make this as fair as possible, and I don't like to speak for people unless I speak for them.
This is all the truth.
No, I know.
That's why I can sit here comfortably. Joe, tell us this. Is this like what's this, pistachio? Let's call it pistachio. I'm sitting here in my teal. I'm in my teal pistachio. My karma's beautiful. My oil is. I'm great, man.
Joe said he didn't even honor our contract and overpaid us. He said he looked at our contract and saw what that money would have been off our percentage base and said, I don't like it. I want this to be the last time we talk about this, so I'm even gonna put in his good points that he said. Which, again, I'm not sitting here saying I didn't believe my man's when he said that.
Right. Right.
I did.
Okay, cool, yeah.
And I said, thank you. I said, yo, thank you. Yeah, that's fire. That's some real solid, real man shit to do.
Right.
But when we go back to the points of when we get our respective corners, let's figure out what makes this work for our friendship and the business side. Mm-hmm. Accounting got brought back into play when it stopped with the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And everyone made it clear, I don't care how far you dance around it, just throwing numbers in an Excel spreadsheet is not accounting.
It's not accounting.
So yes, did I get accounting that said I was overpaid? Did I get accounting that said Joe is the greatest guy on earth? Of course. Mm-hmm. Did. And even then, did not say he was wrong. I said, just give me a regular accounting. Like, you taking a whole month and getting mad at me and resenting me because you've been overpaying me but didn't tell anyone, and you now have the accountants working on this instead of something else, and they're offended and this and that.
Well, let me be clear. I don't think we go as big. You don't sit on anything. You don't know. That's the sure. Issue. I'm just going with the optic. You don't sit on this set and talk about me. To talk about you that you did. Underneath all that, you're overpaying something. It don't add up.
Let's say I'm overpaid.
It don't add up.
Let's say I'm overpaid.
That energy don't even match. Let's overpay people that you feel like that about and that you end up talking about like that publicly. You don't do that.
Let's dead the narrative right now of this was about money. That we said it was not about money, and then Joe came on to that podcast and said this is about money. Rory's asking about money. Let's dead that now. Spotify deal is about to end. Even before we even went into negotiations, Joe had said to me, some friendship, we was at lunch, he said, I just don't think this is going to be a good situation for us. I said, bet. I've been saving my money. Fuck Spotify. If they come back with a crazy amount of number, but it don't make sense for us, fuck it. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I've been saving my money. I don't splurge like that. I'm chilling. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I think it was 6 or 7 months before our deal even ended. So I was like, let's just get back. Nobody go crazy with their bread. And if we got to go independent, we got to go independent. That's great. Whatever. That's probably a cool scenario. you don't have to worry about me at all. Don't ever make a decision, and I said this to him 1,000 times during that Spotify deal. That's why this also offends me off his shit. So don't ever think you have to worry about me with money. Don't ever make a decision about me that has to do with making sure I'm paid.
Right.
I love you for that, but don't ever do it. Cash App deal comes around. Pardon, his Cash App deal for his pull-ups, according to him. We leave Spotify, he starts bringing in Cash App to our podcast. Amazing, love that, cool. I get an email from the accounting company, CC'd with Ian, on what a payment is going to be per month. This is the Cash App deal. Naturally, as I always do, and as I told Joe, since the day we started doing business together, I don't care if it's $10 or 10 billion. I'm going to ask you. Cash App deal was great. It was around the exact same money, if not a couple $100 more than what we were doing with Spotify somewhere. Amazing. Love you for getting that. My dude. Just ask, so what is this? Simple question. Left it alone. Didn't even really get an answer. Didn't particularly care. Everything's cool. We in a pandemic. We don't have a deal. You out there getting us money. I got it. Fuck with you. Okay, whatever. It's about the show. Love you. Patreon deal comes around. I don't know a single fucking story. I find out on the air with the rest of y'all. I saw all y'all jokes.
We don't know anything about it.
They were correct. Let's be transparent. Got on there. Alright, you're the head of creator equity. Cool. But prior to that, we were talking about starting a Patreon page with our shit.
Right.
Which, by the way, is not... You don't have to have a deal with Patreon to start a Patreon page. Right. So when we have conversations prior to this, I'm not thinking, okay, this is a Joe deal. And I also asked, I even asked his manager, is this a Joe Budden Network deal? Like, is this going to have, see the thing it is?
Right.
Like, just because, and not even on some crazy shit, just on, well, let me just try to figure out what this is so I can know how to move with it. I'm not here to disrupt things. I'm just asking what the fuck is going on.
Right.
He gets on there, we congratulate him for his position. Still love you, Joe, for getting that position. It's amazing. Patreon's great. I get a call from Ian. Hey, the accountant's going to reach out to you. This is going to be the monthly fee for Patreon. Was the number crazy per month? Absolutely. It was a lot of fucking money. Great money. A lot of fucking money. When I see a lot of money, do I automatically think, oh, there must be more? No. I just ask, so what is this based off of? Because from my understanding, at this point, this was a Joe Budden podcast thing.
His manager said.
Him and his manager, Ian, shout Ian.
I finally convinced my team, and we're giving away 8 pre-built Shopify stores away for only $17. And
we're reactive in AI regulation. It's too late. Normally the way regulations are set up is that a whole bunch of bad things happen, there's public outcry, and then after many years the regulatory agency is set up to regulate that industry. And there's a bunch of opposition from companies who don't like being told what to do by regulators. Anyway, it takes forever. In the past, it's been bad, but not something which represented a fundamental risk to civilization.
Intelligence existential risk of advanced AI is the hypothesis that substantial progress in artificial general intelligence could someday result in human extinction or some other unrecoverable global catastrophe. The likelihood of this type of scenario is widely debated and hinges in part on differing scenarios for future progress in computer science. One of many concerns in regard to AI is that controlling the superintelligent machine with human compatible values may prove to be much harder than thought. Many researchers believe that a superintelligence would naturally resist attempts to shut it off or change its goals, a principle called instrumental convergence. It's fascinating to think that one of the earliest authors to express serious concern might pose an existential risk to humanity was the novelist in the year 1863, when he published his essay Darwin and Machines, in which he wrote, "Day by day, however, machines are gaining ground upon us. Day by day, we are becoming more subservient to them. More men are daily bound down as slaves to tend them. More men are daily devoting the energies of their whole lives to the development of mechanical life. The upshot is simply a question of time, but at the time will come when the machines will hold the real supremacy over the world and its inhabitants is what no person with a true philosophic mind can do. But concerns about the advent of digital superintelligence started to become mainstream only in the 2010s. They were popularised by public figures like the late Stephen Hawking, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk. So what is exactly an existential risk, and how is it related to advanced AI? An existential risk is any risk that has the potential to eliminate all of humanity, or, at the very least, endanger or even destroy modern civilization. Such risks come in forms of natural disasters like supervolcanoes or asteroid impacts, but an existential risk can also be self-induced or man-made weapons of mass destruction, which most experts are the most dangerous threat to humanity. But Elon Musk thinks otherwise. He thinks digital superintelligence is a far more greater threat to humanity than nuclear weapons.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane. AI is a fundamental risk to the existence of human civilization, in a way that car accidents, airplane crashes, faulty drugs were not. They were harmful to instead of individuals within society, of course, but they were not harmful to society as a whole. AI is a fundamental risk to the civilization, and I don't think people fully appreciate that.
It will take an unquantifiable amount of time and effort to safely develop an artificial general intelligence. Even if humans manage to somehow crack the AGI problem, superintelligent AI will still not pose an existential threat to humanity, because true artificial general intelligence will be much better at so the risk is humanity will be under the control of humans. It will most likely resist its human control. Researchers have argued that advanced AI will be very difficult to control, and its first goal won't be to make the world a better place. Its creators and to fulfill its own goals. Or the emergence of digital superintelligence is probably relatively short, we shouldn't wait around and hope for a beneficial AI. No previous experience with any form of advanced artificial intelligence. But despite what movies, sci-fi books and video games have taught us, artificially intelligent machines are most often behave as business corporations rather than like malevolent killing machines.
Now you might say, well, like, if the computer starts sticking electrodes into people's faces, like, we just shut it off. It's not necessarily so easy to do if we've grown dependent on the off switch to the internet. B, why haven't the chimpanzees flicked the off switch to humanity? The reason is that we are an intelligent adversary. We can falsehood and super intelligence. We can be much better at that than we are. We should not be confident that we have this under control here. We try to make our job a little bit easier by, say, putting the AI in a box. Like pure software environment, virtual reality simulation, we should kind of stay. But how confident it would be that the AI couldn't find a bug? Like, given that the AI hackers find bugs all the time, I'd say probably not very confident. The point here is that we should not be confident in our ability to keep a super intelligent TV locked on in its model forever. Sooner or later, it will out.
According to Nick Bostrom, adverse outcome will either life or permanently and drastically curtail its potential. And unless we manage to get our act together quickly and decisively, humans are most likely to destroy themselves before we even face the AI risk scenario. Nick Bostrom thinks that an existential risk is one where the end of humanity is not just possible, but likely. He considers the risk comparatively remain able to engage in some form of meaningful communication with AI in the years ahead, we can develop AIs that value and care for the well-being of humanity. Because without an ethical framework, advanced AIs will only seek to fulfill their own ambitions of self-preservation.
Enemy cruise missile launch detected.
In the car business, get regulated by Department of Transport, by EPA, and a bunch of others. And there's regulatory agencies in every country. In space, it get regulated by FAA. So there's a role for regulators. That's very important. And I'm against over-regulating. I think we've got to get on that with AI. There's simply be a lot of job destruction. Because what's going to happen is robots will be able to do everything better than us. I mean, all of us. This is really like the scariest problem to me. Because you've got companies that are racing, that kind of have to race to build AI, or they're going to be made uncompetitive. Essentially, if your competitor is racing to build AI and you don't, they will crush you. I mean, there's like something like 12% of jobs are transport. Transport will be one of the first things to go fully autonomous. But when I say everything, like the robots will be able to do everything.
Insist that AI practice. Skeptics sometimes charge that the thesis is crypto-religious, intelligence replacing an irrational belief in an omnipotent God. Current skeptics argue that AGI is unlikely in the short term. Indeed, scientist Gordon Bell argues that the human race will already destroy itself before it reaches the technological singularity. Some AI and AGI research may be reluctant to discuss risks, worrying that policymakers do not have sophisticated knowledge in the field and are prone to be convinced by alarmist messages, or worrying that such messages will lead to cuts in AI funding. One can't help themselves but wonder if funding AI research is truly more important than the possibility of strong AI wiping out humanity. Hopefully, we will have the choice to collectively decide what's our best move and not leave the matter in the hands of a small group of people to unilaterally make that decision for us.
As y'all may know, I'm a fan of Manscaped gear and their formulations designed specifically for men. The perfect tool for your goodies down under.
Inspiration to the table. Like Kelly Rowland say, I'm gonna be your motivation. When you come home, I'm gonna be in lingerie. I'm gonna keep it nice and fresh and waxed for you. I'm gonna cook your food.
Oh,
you just gotta bring home the basics. That's it.
Shit.
I don't ask for a lot.
Okay. I mean, okay, hold on.
See, I got you,
Yeah.
I got you, right?
God damn. She got you on that regular shit.
It's interesting, yeah, of course.
That's crazy.
It ain't regular, that's what men want.
I want to know, right?
Who want that?
So,
Chris?
Mr. Organic is a high value guy, right?
Right.
I don't know if from you, brother. What do you look for in a woman? So you heard all these answers, right? What do you look for?
I mean, yeah, like, of course, most of them are gonna stand on they pretty, they gonna fuck you and all that. Come home, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, man. Like, we get that dime a dozen. Like, a nigga got bread, nigga. I'm 6'6", 230. I'm smooth. Even without the money, I had every woman I ever wanted. So, like, just because you're gonna be at my home when I come there, cooking, I don't need that shit. You know what I'm saying? I never needed it. You know what I'm saying? I need a girl that's gonna understand what I go through. Who's gonna keep a motherfucker on top of his toes. It's gonna push him and motivate him. You know what I mean? That's also going to come with some ideas. You know what I mean? You give me creative criticism on my grind. You know what I mean? Also add to the table. You know what I mean? Not just grab my food every time it's filled up. You know what I mean? Like, fucking pussy is over with after a certain time. Like, I can fuck any bitch I ever wanted in my life. I always have. That's not appealing to me no more. You know what I mean? Once you get money, once you already having that, you gotta bring great. Your energy gotta be back. Your mind gotta be back. That body gonna mean nothing after a while. So like, you could be the baddest bitch in the world. That's fine. Nigga gonna have you, and I'm gonna fuck a bitch, motherfucker, a 2 and a 3. You do that. Yeah, it happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z had Beyonce, he still fucks some other pussy. How can you be that? Because he would just want some new pussy on his top. So that ain't nothing, man. It's your energy, it's your mind, what you bringing to help me grow.
Bad bitch brings inspiration that you will
not
not
to no
get.
real nigga that already had that. If you got a fat, lame, rich nigga that need all that, I just want a bad bitch, that nigga, he's a nobody.
Yeah.
But a nigga that been sufficient his whole life and got every girl he wanted, what is a bad bitch doing for me? That's nothing. No. There's a million bad bitches walking this earth. That's the cheapest and most easy thing to get for a nigga got some money is a bitch and some pussy. And you go to, like I said, you go to Brazil right now, it's gonna be a 10,000 bad bitch you ever seen in your life. You give them bitches $1 and a coffee, and that bitch gonna lick your feet, man. That's worthless to a real nigga, man.
Right.
You gotta be a fat, slow brain, regular ass nigga that finally got to be exposed, and I got a bad bitch. Like, come on, man. Like, that's a different type of breed of human that they rocks off to that, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, y'all get your money, that's what get all the niggas. But a nigga like me, that shit is, like, it's nothing, you know what I mean? We gotta grow together. That's the most important.
So you'll take a basic bitch that is somebody that you want to talk to over a bad bitch that will inspire you.
So you consider yourself a bad bitch?
No, yeah, I do, actually.
No. So you above basic. You don't know what, you have no attribute to the table here. Like, what you talking about?
I inspire women.
How? You don't got no job. You got, what's your education?
Listen,
what's your
but you have to, no, but you have to realize that when men level, they're not tested for a woman's education. When you're making millions of dollars, you don't care about a woman's education.
Yes, you do.
Talk to plenty of rich men.
I'm a rich man. I got an estate in Malibu. Okay,
An
2 acres.
estate?
Yes.
Oh, I would like to see the picture.
Okay, we can show you paperwork.
Go ahead and show me the title.
We gotta show you paperwork. That don't make no sense.
Show me, pull up the deed. Can he pull up the deed?
Can you pull up the
You don't even know what a deed is. You don't even know what a deed is?
What deed you got? What deed you got?
A deed to the...
You come on, man. You got a little residue underneath your nose.
He's certified. He's certified.